Have you ever wondered what kote are made out of and what materials are the best for you to choose to have in your kote? In this video, I discuss exactly that with Francis from Seisho, Canada, which is a place where you can get custom-made kote at a very good price. If you don't want to buy a new set of kote, I recommend you to not watch this video because here he shares not only what materials are commonly used in the production of kote, but how he chooses and what materials he chooses in order to provide you with the best kote you can have in your hands. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share with somebody you would like their Kendo to improve. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. What materials are used in building the kote and maybe some benefits for different ones and so on?
First, you have orizashi, like this one I showed.
Okay.
This is the same material as a kendo gi. I have several types of orizashi. So this is the regular one that most bogu shop will use. I also use bushuichi orizashi. Here's their logo. Orizashi that is traditionally made in Japan with real aizome, real indigo dye, 100% natural. So the color fades much better on these ones because it's true indigo dye. After that, you have, of course, deerskin. This is the best. This will last the longest. And you have synthetic leather or clarino. This I don't use. I don't like it. Again, I don't see the point in using this.
Why do you don't feel that it's useful to have clarino in the atama?
First, it doesn't stretch, or
Okay.
it hardly stretch. Leather will stretch and form to your hands. So with time, the kote get better. Synthetic leather doesn't do that, and it's supposed to last longer. It's better for friction, but once it starts to break, it's over. It'll go bad so quickly. So I'm not quite sure it really lasts longer. You often see that on the palm with synthetic palms. At some point, it becomes so thin that the whole hand can go through it, right? There's big holes here or here. It doesn't do that with leather. It starts with a really small hole and takes time for the hole to get bigger.
So what is the benefit of orizashi over clarino?
Orizashi is lighter for competition or hard physical practice. Maybe orizashi is better. It also dries a bit faster, but again, that depends on how you dry your equipment more than the material itself.
Yeah, I love orizashi too. A lot of the reasons for that is like it dries quicker, and I feel that once you get the good fit, it's done, right? Like you have it and it's perfect. What about the materials for inside of the kote as well?
It'll be hard to see on this one, but usually the inside of the kote is made of cotton. Most of the time it's made of cotton. Under the top layer, there's usually a newspaper. That is because the deer hair can poke through the top material, whatever the material is, orizashi or deerskin. The deer hair can actually poke through. You can have little pieces of deer hair. So usually they glue newspaper under the top layer. My kote are different. I do differently. I don't use newspaper. I don't see why you use a newspaper or paper in a kote. So I use actually a layer of cotton under the top layer.
I see.
This is better because once you get a hole on the outside, now your deer hair doesn't come out. With newspaper, newspaper is so fragile that if you make a hole on the outside, the newspaper will break right away. The whole thing will come
Not
out.
only that, I can guess that with the sweat and so on, the newspaper will start gunking.
Yeah, it breaks down. Yeah, exactly. The outside of my kote are all synthetic leather.
The outside?
The inside, sorry.
Okay.
The inside. See, so the outside is orizashi, and the inside is synthetic leather. This is better because, like I said, synthetic leather is better for friction, and on the inside of the kote, usually your fingers or your fingernails will rub slightly on the fabric. It lasts longer than the cotton.
How is that for making the kote shape to your hand?
This synthetic leather is quite thin.
Okay.
It's not the thick type for the outside of the kote. This one can stretch.
Ah, big difference. So your selection of materials, you really put some thought on each modification that you're doing.
Most kote I repair with cotton inside. Once I remove the tenuchi, there's holes. There's holes around these fingers,
Yes.
here and here. Every kote I repaired with synthetic leather in Japan had no holes. None of them had holes. So there's a big difference in the inside material. Okay, so what I use inside is a combination of many materials.
Okay.
First, like the core is that felt
Uh-huh.
that is actually made for kote. Some company use like recycled mattress products. This felt is made for making kote. One material all the way across, about a centimeter thick. On top of that, I add wool, 100% wool layers. Depending on what the client asks, I can put more or less wool, so it gives more or less
More
padding.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
What about the filling? Tell us, I know you use deer hair, correct? For inside of the
Yes.
atama. So
Yes.
somebody in the chat asked about what about horse hair as well? But also, what are some of the other materials that are used inside of the kote, and what are some of the benefits or hindrances of
Yeah,
having
so
that?
I use deer hair only. I don't use synthetic fillings. Deer hair breaks down with time.
Okay.
So it breaks into, it starts as a long hair and it breaks into little pieces that forms to your hand better. Why it's deer hair and not horse hair or other animals? The deer hair is actually empty inside. It's like a straw. So it has good structure, but it's light. So that's why we use deer hair. I don't like synthetic fillings because they don't really form to your hand.
Yeah, it's hard to get a good fit, even if
Exactly.
it's custom made, right? Because
Yes.
throughout time,
Yes.
you won't be able to get really that custom feel that is molded to your head.
Yeah. Deer hair is the best. So if you want a good pair, buy with deer hair.
Let me know in the comments below what materials will you have in your next pair of kote. I will post in more videos from this interview that I did with Francis. That being said, if you enjoyed this format, the stream format, you may want to check out this other video I made right here. And if you haven't, take a second to subscribe to the channel if you would like to know when I post new videos, when I go live, and you can be part of one of my streams. And if you did enjoy this video and you got some value, please take a second to hit the like button. It really helps the channel, and please share this with someone you want their Kendo to improve. Thank you for watching.